This Polish trick changes everything. Alright guys, today we're working on this Audi A5, and yeah, we're already steps ahead. We already started polishing the other side, but don't worry, I'm still going to show you the trick that makes this paint pop properly. Look at this paint before polishing. Dull little swirls, no real reflection. But once you use the pad correctly and keep the machine moving slowly, that's where the magic starts. A lot of beginners rush the polish and then wonder why the car still looks tired. The trick is simple. Slow passes, light pressure, and let the polish do the work. Now check this side. Look at that reflection. This pale color actually shines crazy when it's polished properly. We're still busy finishing the whole car, but already you can see the difference between the polished side and the untouched side. And trust me, once the sunlight hits this Audi later, different car completely. All right guys, before we continue polishing, Jake is busy giving the Audi a proper wash. First, nothing fancy today, just a bucket, water, and hard work. A lot of people think you need expensive equipment to get good results. Nah, not always. If you've got pressure washers and foam cannons, perfect, use them. But if you only have a bucket and clean water, you can still do a proper job. The important part is removing dirt safely before polishing, because one little piece of dirt can scratch the paint while polishing. And Jake is out here washing like this Audi owes him money. But seriously, clean surface first, then polish after. That's how you get that smooth mirror finish everybody wants. All right, Jake is applying the polish now, and notice, small dots only. Don't do what beginners do and empty half the bottle onto the pad. You really don't need a lot of polish to get good results. A few small dots spread evenly works way better and keeps the pad cleaner too. Too much polish just makes a mess and starts looking like the car is getting mayonnaise treatment. Nice small amounts, spread it properly, then let the machine do the work. All right guys, now Jake is actually polishing the Audi A5, and this is where things start getting serious. So right now, you can see the machine is on the paint. Nice and steady passes, no rushing. This is the part where most beginners mess up. They think faster means better. Nah, slower is actually cleaner. Look at how Jake is moving the polisher. Left to right, nice overlap, not jumping around like it's dancing at a wedding. That's important because if you miss spots, you'll see uneven shine later when the sun hits. And remember, we already washed the car properly earlier. That step matters a lot. If you polish a dirty car, you're basically rubbing sand into the paint. And nobody wants that kind of free scratch package. Now check this side compared to the other panel. You can already start seeing that gloss coming through. It's not even fully done yet, but the difference is crazy. Another thing? Pressure. Jake is not forcing the machine. He's just guiding it. The machine is doing the work, not him fighting it like arm wrestling. If you press too hard, you can actually damage the finish or create uneven marks. And look at the paint coming alive slowly. That pale Audi color is actually perfect for polishing. It starts off looking flat, but once you hit it properly, it gives that clean mirror reflection. Now here's a mistake a lot of people make at home. They stay too long in one spot. Don't do that. Keep moving. If you stay in one place, you're basically cooking the paint, and that's not the goal. You want smooth, consistent passes. Think of it like painting a wall. You don't just stop in one corner and panic. Also, don't forget the sound. Listen to the machine. When the polish starts breaking down, the sound changes slightly and it starts going quieter and smoother. That's when you know the product is working properly. And Jake is just going section by section, small panels at a time. Not the whole car at once, because that's how beginners get overwhelmed and start rushing everything. Look at that reflection starting to show. You can almost see shapes coming back in the paint. That's what we want: clarity, depth, and that clean gloss finish. Now imagine when we wipe this off and step into sunlight later. That's when it really hits different. And if you've got better equipment at home, like a dual-action polisher, good pads, proper compounds, use them. It makes life easier and gives better results faster. But even if you're working with basic tools, technique still matters more than expensive gear. Jake is just finishing this section now, making sure everything is even. No rush, no shortcuts, just steady polishing. And honestly, this is the satisfying part of car detailing. watching dull paint turn into something that actually reflects like glass. We're not even done yet, and you can already see the transformation starting. All right, guys, Jake is still going with the polishing, and now we're moving on to the next section of the Audi A5. So far, we already did the first panel, and you can literally see the difference starting to build up across the car. But now we're not stopping. We're continuing the same process on the other side. Same technique again. Slow passes, even pressure, and don't rush it. This is where people usually get impatient and start speeding up. And then they wonder why the finish looks uneven later. Jake is just working panel by panel. You'll notice he's not jumping randomly across the car. That's important. You always want to stay organized, otherwise you'll lose track and miss spots. And look at this paint. It's starting to wake up again. At first it looked flat, like no personality at all. Now it's slowly getting that depth back, like the car is saying, okay, I see what you're doing. Also, quick reminder, keep your pad clean. If your pad gets too loaded with polish, it stops working properly. It starts dragging instead of cutting and finishing the paint nicely. So Jake is wiping and checking the pad as he goes. Now here's something funny. A lot of people think polishing is just rubbing the car until it shines. Nah, it's actually controlled work. You're basically correcting the paint, not scrubbing it like you're trying to remove last year's memories from it. And check this section now compared to the one we already finished. You can start seeing the reflection coming through. It's not fully perfect yet, but it's building up step by step. Jake is keeping the machine flat on the surface too. That's very important. If you tilt it too much, you won't get an even finish and you can leave marks. So flat pad, steady hands, no panic movements. And listen, you might not notice it on camera, but the machine actually changes sound as the polish breaks down. It goes from that heavy working sound to a smoother, quieter finish. That's basically your signal that the product is doing its job. Now imagine doing this on the whole car. It takes time, but that's why the result looks so good at the end. There's no shortcut to a proper gloss finish. You either do it right or you do it twice. Jake is now overlapping into the next section, blending everything together so there are no lines or patchy areas. That's another beginner mistake. Stopping too early and leaving visible sections. We don't want that. And look at this color again. This pale Audi paint is actually perfect for polishing. It doesn't scream at first, but once it's corrected properly, it gives that clean, luxury shine. The kind of finish that looks expensive even in bad lighting. Also, if you're at home watching this and you've got basic tools, don't stress. You don't need the most expensive setup to start. What matters most is technique. Clean surface, correct amount of product, and consistent movement. Jake is just continuing section by section. Same method, no shortcuts. You can already see the car starting to look more alive as we move across it. And the best part? We're still not even done yet, but the transformation is already obvious. When we pull it into sunlight later, that's when everything really hits different. All right, Jake is finishing this pass now and moving into the next area, still keeping everything smooth and even. This is what proper polishing looks like. Calm, controlled, and consistent. We're getting closer to that final mirror finish. All right, guys, as Jake is still going over the Audi and finishing up the last sections, I want to tell you something real quick about polishing that most people don't think about. Polishing isn't just about making a car shiny. It's actually about patience. A lot of beginners want instant results like one pass and it must glow. But in reality, paint correction is more like building something step by step. There's a guy I once saw who rushed his whole car in 20 minutes. And when the sun came out, you could literally see every mistake he made. It looked worse than before. That's why here, we take our time. Even when it looks like we're just going over the same panels again and again, it's actually about consistency and finishing properly. And Jake is still working in the background. Same process, no shortcuts, just steady work across the paint. If you enjoy seeing real transformations like this, make sure you stick around and subscribe, because the next stage is where everything really comes together. Trust me, you don't want to miss when this Audi hits the sunlight.